to our channel. Ruth here, and in today's video I'm excited to share with you a CNBC study on the fastest way to become a millionaire. And here are 4 traits of self-made millionaire. So let's get started. Number 1, self-made millionaires tend to save and invest. So a lot of them actually have a regular job, but they find ways to invest and to save. They don't spend every penny. Now, that's actually really interesting because over time, if you begin to save and you're quite content, with your day job, you can actually become a millionaire. And many times, I think, especially here in Australia, there's a lot of self-employed, I call them white-collar workers, tradespeople, who actually can easily become a millionaire because they save. They are thrifty, hopefully not stingy, but they actually invest their income as well. One time I listened to this, there's this one time I listened to a YouTuber, and his name is Michael, the producer. You can actually check him out. He's currently based in America, and he takes people to, different places, showing mansions, or, to LA, and showing beautiful watches, which are like 50,000 per watch. But Michael, the producer, he's actually a music producer, and he's done very, very well for himself. But he actually gave a really good piece of advice. He said, if you want to buy an expensive watch, don't take it out of your savings account. For example, if the watch is $50,000, instead of taking it out of your savings account and buying the watch, he says, why don't you consider investing that money? And then by the end of the year, if that investment makes you an additional $50,000, then essentially you're not touching your savings. You're buying that watch, what you really want to reward yourself with the interest money. Right? So I think that's actually very wise, because even a person like him, who's very, very wealthy, that's his mentality. He just doesn't go to his bank account and spend every penny he has. No, he's thinking of reinvestment. He loves his expensive watches, but he does it with wisdom. The second trait of self-made millionaire, according to CNBC study, is a lot of them actually are a company climber or a leader. For example, a CEO. They work really hard, they become the best in their company, and then they get paid a very, very high salary. So in this case, depending on what career line you're in, you can actually work your way up, and hopefully in a couple of years, you will have the net worth of a millionaire. Now, so that really depends on the type of company that you work for. The thing is, it's some of us can get paid, X amount of money. For example, in my field, at the moment, I'm a partner in a law firm. I've been a lawyer for about 13 years now, but at the same time, I run a business consulting business and also coaching and a couple of other businesses on the side. And I noticed that, when I first got into the legal industry, I was fairly young back then. I graduated with a degree. I did English law and Australian law, and then I was getting paid here in Australia about $18 an hour. Now, if you're living in Australia, you think $18 an hour is not actually a lot of money for a lawyer. And I was looking at different firms, and my colleagues were telling me that a receptionist in their firm were getting paid $24 an hour, and they were a high school leaver. And I thought to myself, what's going on here, So obviously it depends on your ability to negotiate. But eventually, I got paid a pretty decent wage. I worked in different law firms, etc. But did you know that there are barristers out there, and these are like really experienced lawyers. They represent clients in courts. They can get paid up to $1,000 an hour, and some of them even more, depending on what kind of cases that they handle. So the question then becomes, why the disparity? The thing is, at the end of the day, what is your skill set? I mean, if you can bring a particular skill set to the table and you can really invest in yourself and say, hey, I deserve to be paid this much, but you have to be able to justify that. So if you're actually working in a company, you can consider working your way up. But the question then becomes, what do you need to do to actually get there? You know, do you need to invest in yourself, take on extra courses, you know, work extra hard, whatever it might be that is your dream, you can actually pursue that. The third one is skill and knowledge. So according to CNBC Study, one of the traits of self-made millionaire is that they have a specific skill and knowledge. For example, they're an accounting, a lawyer, or a doctor. Now, it's not a quick way to become a millionaire, but eventually, if you do fairly well, after a couple of years, you can accumulate your wealth and break through into that millionaire circle. Now, I must say that sometimes you do need to give it time to actually specialize. But that leads me to my final point, which is following your passion. So according to CNBC Study, there's a bunch of people who are called the dreamers pathway. They either start a business, a startup, then an author, or an artist. And according to this study, that is actually the fastest way to become a millionaire. And I agree 100%, because with my personal life, you know, even though I became a lawyer, I was still in debt, you know, trying to pay off my study loan. You know, I was never really able to save much, you know, having to pay rent and bills, etc. It wasn't until I actually stepped into the business world and started the different businesses that I broke through in terms of wealth. And I thought to myself, you know what, I am never going back to employment again, because I feel like, you know, entrepreneurial pathway is essentially the fastest way for you to actually break through into that millionaire circle. Now, I understand it's not for everyone, but if you're interested in business, check out my other videos, because I am very, very, very passionate about you starting your own business. And the dreamers pathway, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it doesn't have to be something, you know, so, you know, unique. Sometimes you just have to start somewhere. You know, I've started different businesses. Some of them, you know, didn't really eventuate, but I always learned the skills. And bam, one day I had my breakthrough, and then I went to start a different business. And today I'm able to consult and provide advice to businesses on how to grow their business, you know, how to maximize efficiency, etc. So you just have to start somewhere. So I hope you enjoyed the content of today's video. Again, it was taken from a CNBC study, 4 traits of self-made millionaire. Number 1, save and invest. Number 2, become a company climber. Number 3, work on your skill and knowledge. And number 4, follow your passion as it start a business, or let your creativity flow as an author or an artist. Well, thank you so much again for taking the time to watch this video. Before you go, would you be so kind to hit the like and subscribe button so we can keep you motivated, and it's gonna mean the world to me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.